way that we've been designing schools or placing kids in an environment for the last 100 years. We have completely forgotten about do no harm. We have been placing our children in incredibly rigid furniture, disregard that they come in very different sizes, and we force them to sit in the same size chairs in straight rows, looking at the front wall, and ask them not to move or talk. Unnatural to the way living system work. I think that we have to move from, sort of do no harm to do good only. And if we're able to make that shift, we can begin a new era about how we should be designing learning environment for how teachers want to teach, how dynamic they want to teach, how many times they want to change a learning settings, and really focusing on how children really wants to learn. Amazing educators and psychologists like Dewey and Maria Montessori and Laura Malaguzzi, Howard Gardner. There are voices that says that children actually learn very differently, and they have their own pace and their own rhythm in which they want to learn. If we were to place human being at the center of any kind of a design solutions, then the environment, the physical environment, needs to change drastically. So I think that's the premise of the third teacher. The title of third teacher came from Malaguzzi, in which he said that there are three teachers of children. The first are the adults, the second one are their peers, the third is the physical environment. It was very clearly to us that the upper school was sort of trapped in the old environment, and what we were trying to do is to now create a new learning environment that allows this very dynamic learning and teaching that's already ingrained in the culture of how North Shore does teach very differently than anywhere else. For me as an architect, as the form giver to space, having the ability to see the relationship from one space to the next space is really critical. And how you can have the flexibility and agility to sort of reconfigure your space. One of the big driver coming out of this collaborative process with North Shore Country Day was agility and flexibility. You are never disconnected from your adjacencies. Whether it's through transparency, whether it's through daylight, your ability to move a chair right next to another person. You should have the ability to sort of flow out into what would have been just purely circulation space now becomes a small group gathering place. Those are the kind of things that I think speak toward an ecology to support the idea of change and emergence. The role of the teachers are going to change vastly. They will become more guide and mentor, and the kids are going to have a greater desire to have instant access to expert. So I perceive the transformation of North Shore Country Day is a living system. It's an ecology of learning. In that sense, even a simple chair should be able to do many things as part of that learning ecology. When we observe teaching here at North Shore Country Day, there's 10 minutes of direct instruction, and then they break out into various size groups. I think the first thing about this chair is that you can move it, right? It's on caster, and I think that it's just an awesome, agile piece of furniture that allows the teachers to really set up the learning setting in many different ways during that teaching time. This is kind of our modern version of the Harkness table with digital media, flat screen. Again, the furniture is able to kind of disassemble itself and rearrange in different configurations. You have 3 traditional learning studios that opens out into kind of like project space. This is kind of like the think tank, right? Research, project space, collaboration. The Daniel Pink idea that 21st century is about creativity and innovation and solving very complex challenges and wanting to solve them now. This is what you need. This is a space that allows kids to actually do that. The way that you're bringing in art, creativity, with mathematics, with humanities, all of that collides in this new ecology of spaces. This is an integrated furniture and collaboration tool. You can hook up up to 6 laptops, and each laptop has a puck. Hit that puck, whatever is on your laptop shows up on here. So your ability to exchange information, knowledge, discuss, feedback, presentation happens very naturally. One of the design drivers is this amazing desire for community space. So we just didn't want to design a space that has like a one function, but a space that has many functions. During the day, it's a great place for a student to either work by themselves, work together, use their laptop, but transition to easily a performing space. And I always envisioned them having great speakers coming in for that specific purpose. The old environment is always about visually and physically disconnect us from other human beings. This place, this ecology, it's all about connecting.